Hello, I'm Ollie Walton and I'm a business development manager for the south of the UK. We've got a sort of short series of videos to go through placing orders, looking at order summaries, merging customers and fields, and then finally looking at field boundaries as well. So this is the first video in the series, and today we're going to look at creating orders and the order summary page. So let's log in. So the first page you'll come to is this page here. It's called the My Order page. In this page, we can see all the historic orders that we've ever placed coming into the lab, and we can search them by using the search database bar here. If we simply type in demo, it will pull up anything that's got demo in the titles. We can also filter this into time ranges and also the status of the order. So the order status here, we've got in transit, draft, partly done and done. This accounts for what status the soil is at or the sample is at in the lab, so you can keep track of where they are. You will still receive notifications from Landcrop and from Yara Analytical to tell you when we've received the orders into the lab and also when they're done, and you can access the results that way, or you can access the results by coming onto Megalab and clicking this button here. You can download the PDF, CSV, XLS and XML that way. So it gives you a way to find all the reports in one place and not have to go trailing through your emails. So once we're happy with that, we can now start looking at creating new orders, which we can do by clicking the new order button on the left hand side or the big blue new order button on the top right. So let's go into that. So once we're into a new order page, you're able to select a different distributor if you've got access to more than one account. If you're like me and you haven't, it will be blocked off. Once we've selected what distributor we want, we can then select what customer we'd like to enter the order for. Take notice of the duplications within this. This is because all of the data has been brought through from Megalab in the old system. So any duplications that have been sent into the lab previously are listed on here. If the customer isn't listed that you'd like to create an order for, simply click New Customer and add their details that way. For this instance, we're going to start an order for John Telfer. Once we've selected what customer we'd like to use, we can then go on to what sample type, which is soil, leaf, grain, PTL, water, manures, or anything else that we might do in the lab. For this sample, we're going to look at soil. We can then start to follow it through and enter any purchase order number if we need one, and then start to have a look at date sampled, that you did sample it or that you are going to sample it. Once we've created that, we can move down to the next box. So we'll start to look at the sample number. In here is a prefix, which will be determined by your company, and then the number, which is accurate to yourself. So there's a prefix to a number that's yours. Moving on, it's then the 15th order and the first sample. So this sample number here is the only thing that needs to be on the sample bag when it comes into the lab, but you are able to put more if you wish. So let's start creating an order. Field reference, again, this is pulled through from anything that you've ever sent into the lab on the paper copies. So any fields that you've got, again, notice that there's duplications within that. And if the field isn't there that you want, you can simply add a new field. Here, we're just going to use Ben's field. We can then just follow this line through and select what crop and analysis group we'd like to use. And if we want to use any extra analysis, we can use the extra analysis and look at the bulk density. But then if we don't want to look at that, we can simply remove that. If we'd like to create another one with an empty row, we can simply click on empty row and follow the process through, or we can delete that with the delete button on the right hand side. If you'd like to continue this and look at Ben's field, or just pull BSE test down and pull Barley down, we can click this duplication button here and it will duplicate the samples for you, and then you can simply just change the field reference if needed. Or we can start to look at amalgamating samples by selecting them up the side or clicking the select all button. If we then select amalgamate at the bottom, it will bring up an amalgamation of these samples, and then we can simply change the analysis on something that we like. So once this is all done, we can then move on to order summary. This gives you the opportunity to check that everything's correct that you've ordered, check that the distributor and the customer is all correct and when you sampled it. It also gives us a reminder to make sure that that sample number is on each bag, which we can see here. Then you can print the order summary and check that every soil is going into the bag or the box, depending on how you're sending it to us, and then pop that in the box and send it away. Once you're happy, we just click place order, and then this order is moved back to the My Orders page into in transit. If we're not happy with that order and we'd like to change it, we can go on to edit the order here and edit the order. And then if we decided not to do the amalgamation, we can delete that, or we can simply add another analysis, confirm the changes. You can do this right up until the order is in lab. Then you're no longer able to edit the order. We can do the same with a draft. We can edit it and we can go into order summary and place it, or we can simply delete the order altogether. We can do the same with an in transit by going in and deleting the order if we've decided not to go forward with that. So there's everything that you need to start creating orders in the My Megalab portal. Come back next time and we're going to start looking at customer merging and field merging as well. Thank you for listening.